Everybody, it's Pandy, and I'm playing World of Tanks. I'm sorry for not posting a video in the last 2 weeks. The first week I was actually building a new computer, and I wanted to tell you guys last week, but I had a problem. My fraps failed me. My audio for all the in-game footage was all jacked up, so I want to apologize to everyone out there for not having 2 weeks worth of videos published and out there. I'm so sorry, and to show my appreciation to you guys and how sorry I am, I'm going to go ahead and put 2 videos up in a row for you guys with gold contests for each individual one. I wanted to do a video on the IS-8, the newest and greatest addition to World of Tanks. However, I can't do a proper video on the IS-8 without doing a good video for the IS-3. I've done an IS-3 video before, but it's not a good one or a proper one. It's just me showing off and being a dick of how much of a wall warrior I am. I still stand in the fact that if I spend money on World of Tanks, it's less money going to drug dealers, hookers, whores, and all the strippers of the world. So the point of all this madness and battering and battering and, words that I can't pronounce right, I have not done a proper job for the IS-3. So here I am. I'm going to go ahead and do a video on the IS-3. To start it off, a little background about this tank. It started out with a series of tanks that began with the IS-1, which was armed with the 85mm main gun and deployed in the early 1944. This was actually followed real quickly behind by the IS-2, which was armed with the 122mm main gun. The Soviets were pleased with the success of their heavy tanks, so they decided to go ahead and develop a bigger and better and greater IS-3. The IS-3 design was basically a redesign of the IS series of tanks. The turret was a brand new rounded dome shape to allow for better slope for better ballistic protection. The hull was also redesigned for the same purpose of ballistics protection, basically angled so it's not a flat plate right across the front that's sloped. Because of the dome shape of the turret, this gave more room for the crew and also more ammunition for the crew itself to fire at the enemy. The same 122mm gun was retained from the IS-2 to the IS-3. They tried several different types of guns, but they found that the one that's already on the IS-2 to be more than efficient for what they need it for. The prototype was classed as the Object 703 in October of 1944. The prototype went through trials and was accepted into production at Soviet factories that were already equipped for heavy tanks. The first IS-3 arrived to the Red Army in May of 1945, just right when victory in Europe was achieved. It was never used in combat operations in Europe, but it did make its way into the Victory Parade in Berlin in September of 1945. The IS-3 was deployed out Far East against Japan, but it's not known officially if the tank saw any combat action. By the end of the Second World War, the IS-3 was seen to be the most advanced tank of its kind on the battlefield at that moment. Production of the IS-3 kept right on going into the middle of 1946, where 2,300 were built. The IS-3 served with the Red Army throughout the latter part of the 1940s and into the 1950s. A modernization program was done to help keep the IS-3 up to date during the Cold War. The IS-3 was exported to Egypt and Syria in the late 50s and were used in combat operations in 2 wars against Israel. Reports stated that the IS-3 had a habit of overheating, or the engine overheating, and did not fare very well in sandy conditions. The Israelis noted that the tank needed a 105mm main gun to engage it effectively at normal combat ranges. The Israeli Defense Forces ended up capturing quite a few of them after the 6 Days War and used them as defensive bunkers or tanks in the Suez Canal area for defense against the Egyptian military. They also went ahead and updated a lot of the engines with the T-54 engines that they've captured so that they were in good working order. The IS-3, and at least in my eyes and a lot of historians, proclaimed that this was the most powerful tank developed during the Second World War. Now, don't be hating haters, because the King Tiger was the most powerful tank used in combat during the Second World War, but it was the most powerful developed. So, there it is. Now, within World of Tanks, the IS-3 fucking kills shit. IS-3's firepower is the bomb. It has good damage penetration and reload rate. It's a very balanced gun for what it is, and it does really well against tiers of lower class. It does have a harder time pushing the shit in on a higher tier tanks like a tier 9 or 10. It does get through the armor of these tanks with some issues. You just need to aim at the weak spots and slam it home. It does plenty of a good job against like the M103, E75, and other tanks, related tanks. It does putting hurting onto all the smaller tanks and even light tanks. You got enough speed on that reload to catch a T-50, or you have enough firepower to just simply out-tank a fucking Tiger tank. The gun is well suited for the tank and allows for great balance in all aspects of the firepower, like I said, the reload, damage, and pen. It's a good gun. It's a really good gun. I love it. The armor on the IS-3 is pretty damn good. It has really good slope, and the dome-shaped turret can deflect a lot of rounds from long range. You need to watch out for tanks with guns with more than 160 pin because they're more than capable of penetrating your frontal armor or weak spots very easily. The King Tiger, aka the big motherfucking tiger tank, tends to go through your front armor pretty easily, so you gotta be watchful for them, along with the AMX-50-100. The French bastard can actually damn near kill you with a full mag if you let him, so you gotta be real careful with them, be real reserved, and just get them at the wrong moment. Armor tends to do real good against guns of lower tier, especially from long range. The tank is supposed to be a brawler because of the mobility, which I'll get into in a little bit, but you really want to pick and choose how you want to go about it. You got to play it kind of like a medium tank where you got to be careful, but at the same time, you can rush in there sometimes because you do have the thicker armor. Now, the mobility on the IS-3 is nice. It moves really fast, and it's in line with the fast-moving counterparts below and above it. The way Wargaming split up the Russian heavy tanks now is the slow, heavily armored tanks are on one side, the fast, mobile, heavy tanks are on the other. This faster than a normal tank allows you to support medium tanks that are rushing. You're not going to be able to beat them in a race, but you're able to keep up. Also allows you to take up positions where the King Tiger would not risk trying to run to. Allows you to fall back if you have to, but the IS-3 can hold its own against numbers larger than it, so you gotta really pick and choose. It's a really tactical tank because you don't have the armor to stand and fight, but you're able to move and take weak spots and slam home. Overall, the IS-3 is a fucking beast. It runs and guns like a boss, and it pumps round out like a madman. The armor is a little lacking when it comes to brawling, but sniping from long range to the front of a lot of other tanks tend to do pretty decent. Its accuracy is okay, and when people shoot back at you, you have a more likely chance to go ahead and deflect rounds. Because of that slope and shape of your frontal armor, it ups your chances overall, say compared to the King Tiger where it has more of a flat slope than a more angular type slope. Up and close and personal, the armor is going to fail you because it is thinner. Its greatest strength is mobility on the other hand, so it's a lot like a medium tank. Not like a French tank where everything will go through you, but you gotta be real careful with this tank. And it plays real good, it kills shit, it eats shit, it's a really good tank. It's highly recommended to stay in everyone's garage purely for champion tank companies, but around from that, it's a really good tank to hold on to, get some doubles, get the free experience, do what you do, continue on to the IS-8. So we get to that part of the video where I get to give away some World of Tanks gold. This week I'm going to be giving away 3,000 gold to the North American server, 2,500 to the European Union server. To win said gold, you must just post a comment down below, and you can maybe answer the question of the video, which is, what do you think of the Russian heavy tank revisions? Myself, I think it's great. It pits two types of heavy tanks into their own environments. You got the heavily armored ones and the mobile heavy tanks. So basically it gives you a choice on what kind of line you want to run down to, and makes things a little more interesting. Personally, I'm trying to get the ST1 right now, so I'm hoping it'll be something else. The KV-4 is a great tank, so it gives you options, and that's what Wargaming is trying to do. It's cool. I like it. So that's all I got. I appreciate you guys watching. Next video is going to be the IS-8 for this doubles video thing that I'm doing, so just keep an ear out, keep an eye out, and thank you guys. I'm Pandy, and good hunting.